What's good? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the LDBC, the YTBC. We working. Shout out to Ain't Nobody Safe boxing community as well. And to get right on into it, Eddie Hearn now, is a fan of Danny Jacobs fighting Jermall Charlo. He's saying that it'll sell out the Barclays in a heartbeat. Earlier we talked about how Adrian Broner, and Gervonta Tank Davis doubled up, damn near doubled up the attendance numbers over Danny Jacobs Lucky. They did about 7,800 at the Barclays Centers, and Tank and Broner and Charlo, they did about 14,000. So they damn near doubled them up. You know what I'm saying? So you look at that situation and you say, now Eddie want to get desperate. Now he probably taking a financial loss versus the last two opponents. Luis Arias ain't probably sell out shit wherever they fought at. It was somewhere in New York. And then you got he fought Slucky. They ain't sell out shit. This dude from Brooklyn couldn't even get to support his own community, come fight him. Come see him fight versus a guy like Slucky, who ended up being a game opponent, I thought, that beat Danny Jacobs. It's funny that now Eddie Hearn is talking all that big boy shit, talking about how he can take over America, and he got a big announcement. Now he's trying to spin it where 7,800 is good, for Danny Jacobs over here in America. That shit ain't still no good numbers. You wouldn't say that was some good fucking numbers over there in the UK for Anthony Joshua fight, you dig? So, don't come and try to spin it and try to look at the cup half full instead of half. The bitch is half empty. It's empty. You're not doing a good job with Danny Jacobs, period. Now we're not buying that bullshit you do in the UK, that mismatch shit in America. That's why, it's harder to promote in America, because it's hard to get the casual public behind a whole bunch of bullshit-ass mismatches and a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors that they be doing and shit. Or in the UK, we don't give a fuck about no Ricky Burns fighting no bum-ass motherfuckers, or somebody coming in to smash Ricky Burns face in for the 1,000th time. We don't care about that shit like that. Them little mediocre UK fights they be putting on over there. Just giving an example. We want to see real thumping fights over here. And the hardcore fan, the casual fan, and the Pierce fan, everybody wants to see a good-ass fight, man. A good fight. We don't want to see no bullshit-ass fights that you putting together. Even though Arias was a good amateur and Slucky was a game opponent, I thought he fucked Danny Jacobs up by a point. It was a close fight. Even though those are good opponents, we need to see better fights. Nobody's going to tune in. I'm interested in to see what the HBO numbers is. Nobody wants to tune in. Nobody wants to attend and pay a flight ticket, or even take their gas money or their train money up in Brooklyn to catch the N train, wherever the fuck you coming from, the W, whatever train it is, to see Danny Jacobs in a fucking mismatch. Nobody wants to see it, and now he's starting to put those goddamn, clarity glasses on and see it is for what it is in America. We don't want the bullshit. Now you want to talk about, oh yeah, Danny Jacobs and Jermall Charlo, you're a fan of that fight now. Yeah, I bet you is a fucking fan of that fight now. Because you see what Charlo did with PBC and what they did in attendance numbers. You see what they did. Of course, oh yeah, Charles and Jacobs will sell out in a heartbeat. I bet you fucking think they will sell out in a heartbeat, dog. This is the same Charlo that you said you wasn't interested in for Danny Jacobs. It's the same Charlo that you was, speaking down on, saying he can't sell out this or you ain't interested in that fight. All of a sudden, that a Triple G and Canelo fight looked bleak for you, even though your guy was named the mandatory to Triple G belt somehow. Now it's looking bleak, and you ain't gonna get the opportunity until at least September 2019, because I believe Canelo and Triple G gonna do another fight again. Or Triple G ain't gonna be interested in fighting Danny Jacobs, and just he may retire if he loses to Canelo, whatever it may be. Now, you interested because the fight that you want ain't gonna happen for a whole nother calendar year. You can't afford to keep taking losses, and HBO can't afford to keep taking losses for Danny Jacobs fighting these goddamn showcase fights. And that's the issue. Now they want to act all, bad and Billy Badass, and they want to act all, now we want Charlo. No, y'all motherfuckers didn't want Charlo before. Danny Jacobs wasn't even looking at Charlo way before when Charlo moved up and made a statement versus Sebastian Jorge Highland. He wasn't thinking about Charlo. He was thinking about Canelo and Triple G. He didn't want to risk the Charlo fight. Jacobs, ain't been in a big fight before Triple G. I mean, his big fight with Peter Quillen, that dude was halfway retired. And before that, his big fight was versus Pirog, he got knocked out. Other than that, Jacobs ain't been in a lot of big fights. He don't have the experience of big fights other than Triple G and I guess a Peter Quillen fight, which didn't go that long because Quillen was, he was done at that point. He was finished with boxing. He was retired. But all of a sudden, they want to be interested in the Jermall Charlo fight. And I wonder what the number's going to be about that. And I'm Jermall Charlo. I know I want to fight, but do I really want to bail out Danny Jacobs and Eddie Hearn at this point? Eddie Hearn that talks shit about me, tried to sign me, two-faced bastard. Eddie Hearn that's all up, Danny Jacobs and Anthony Joshua ass crack. Do I actually want to, do I always want to fight this guy when I know I'm going to get the WBC strap, either get it from Canelo, Triple G1, or they going to give it to me? Do I really want to bless Danny Jacobs? Because I was in a position of need and he was in a position of power. He told me he was touching M's and, he didn't want to fight me, but all of a sudden he needs me now. And if I'm him, I'm running a check up on them niggas, dog, period. I don't care if Al Heyman is the advisor for both of us. I'm running a check. I need 50-50 money. Motherfucker, I need 51-50 money. I'm 51-49 money. I need to be the A side in the situation pulling money. I don't care if it's in Brooklyn or not. I don't care what this nigga touching M's. He need me. I don't need him. I know I'm going to get my WBC title shot. You feel me? I'm an interim champion. So I'm bringing something to the table that Danny Jacobs is not bringing to the table. Danny Jacobs ain't bringing shit to the table. I'm the interim champion. I'm getting the belt or shot at the belt after. What is this guy? He ain't shit. So I'm coming to the table. I'm the A side. I'm getting more money in your city, and I'm going to beat your ass and be the king of Brooklyn. And that's just how I'm feeling if I'm Jermall Charlo. But let me know how y'all feel. Article link in the description. TBC and more. We gone.